Hi there, it's Kevin from RogueDeckBuilder.com here with another spotlight for the Rogue Deck of the Month contest. This one is brought to us by PhlegethonianStream. PhlegethonianStream. Geez, you have a long enough name, Fleg? Anyway, I'm going to call you Fleg from here. This is his Proclamation of Rebirth Modern deck. This is the Boros and Orzhov. They call it Borzhov right there. Borzhov colors. White, black, red. With Proclamation of Birth with 1-drops. I've made a similar deck before. I've made an Immortal Servitude deck that I actually was going to do a video on using 1-drops, and it used basically a lot of the same 1-drops that he's using here. I can't remember the difference. I think mine was using Deathrite Shaman in it, but pretty much the same thing as I was using Goblin Guide, Legion Loyalist, and Vexing Devil as well. Figure of Destiny is also a great include. I completely forgot about this card as a 1-drop. Very powerful card in Modern, as it can get very big very quickly. And he's got the Dark Confident for the card drawing engine. This Dark Confident is only going to do a maximum of 3 damage to you with a Proclamation of Rebirth. Everything else is just 2 or 1, most likely 1, and of course you can draw a land off this. Of course, 19 lands is perfect for this deck. It doesn't. That's all it needs. Its highest casting cost is the Proclamation of Rebirth. So yeah, 19. I think you could even go down to 18 if you wanted to. The curve is very, very low. And so he's just got a burn package here with Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt, Boros Charm. I guess this can kind of, you're usually going to be using burn because nothing here except for the Figure of Destiny, giving anything else double strike would be less than just doing 4 damage. So Boros Charm is probably just a 4 damage instant speed burn, and then of course the Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix. Orzhov Charm is kind of cool because it can bring back like a Vexing Devil, or you could kill a creature with it, or the return target creature you control, and all ours is pretty bad. But I mean, if you wanted to keep your Dark Confident alive, you could use its first ability in Orzhov Charm here. And then of course Path to Exile. Path to Exile right now is the most popular card in Modern. So if you're playing white, of course, this is an auto include. And then Proclamation of Rebirth. For those of you that aren't familiar with Proclamation of Rebirth, you get to return up to 3 target creature cards from your graveyard with converted mana cost 1 or less. And so basically that targets everything in his graveyard except for the Dark Confidant. So yep, you'll be able to bring back your Vexing Devils and your Loyalists and your Goblin Guides and everything else, and hopefully swing in for the win. I think one of the cards that I really liked in my version of it was Spark Elemental as well. So that is he was asking me for any suggestions, and I kind of did like Spark Elemental with the Proclamation of Rebirth, but then it becomes too reliant on Proclamation of Rebirth instead of like this kind of hybrid burn deck. So great thing about Tapped Out .net is it's got this cool playtest and draw hand and card odds modes here. So we're going to click on the playtest here, and that's a pretty decent hand here. It's got it might be very, very hard for you to see this. It's kind of hard for me to even see this. It's got a Marsh Flats to go grab. Probably a Godless Shrine would be the better thing to grab here, and a Mountain, and you could start off with a Legion Loyalist. So that's what we'll do. We'll put this into play, tap it, and put a Legion Loyalist into play. Draw a card. There's another proc. That's not as good. So we'd be able to sack this, put it in our graveyard to go get a Godless Shrine. Draw by name. Okay, so we get the Godless Shrine there. And we'd play that into play tap this next turn. No, we wouldn't. We'd play it on play untap so we can Lightning Helix or Orzhov Charm, whatever they have. And then swing in with the Legion Loyalist. There's another Godless Shrine for us. So now we got our Proclamation online. I think the other version, my version, had Faithless Looting as well. But again, mine was more creature oriented than burn. So I'd have to play test these to see which version I'd like more. Again, you probably don't want to be too reliant on Proclamation of Rebirth, or like if you were using Immortal Servitude. So this hand ended up not being the best because we did draw into a double proc and not enough creatures, but you basically see how the deck runs. There's all our creatures there, so if this would have been an opening hand, it would have been a lot better. Cards like Dark Confidant can definitely keep you in this game, and you can burn out your opponents quite quickly. I actually like burn a lot right now in the meta, because the 2 most popular decks right now in Modern, according to MTG Goldfish, are UWR control. They switched over from mid-range to control, and it is the most annoying deck ever. It plays cryptic commands, it plays path to exiles, it plays lightning helixes, it plays electrolyzes. The only creature in the deck it plays is snapcasters, and if you can consider Gideon a creature and Celestial Colonnade as, you know, a creature too. They try to kill you with Gideon or Celestial Colonnade. Most annoying deck ever. They're using Supreme Verdicts, they're using Wrath of Gods, they're, like I said, using cryptic commands. The deck is just unbearable to play against, and Burn can burn them out. Like especially if you mainboard some Skullcracks, Burn can shut down their Sphinx's Revelations and Lightning Helixes, and you can burn them out before they get any sort of board presence to kill you, because it does take them a while to build up any sort of, and their counterspells are 4 mana casting counterspells, cryptic commands and whatnot, so a lot of times you can burn them out by the time they set it up. So I'm actually liking Burn right now as a good strategy for Modern, and I'm really liking this deck. So let's go back and let's look at that deck list one more time. We'll go down through it. So it is a quite expensive deck here. It's got an average price here about almost $700, and that's mainly due to the Arid Mesas and the Marsh Flats. Those are both becoming very pricey lands, but I mean, yeah, the non-basic lands are your biggest thing here. Of course, Dark Confidant is super expensive. Let's hope that it is reprinted in Modern Masters, because I think this guy's sitting around 50 to 60 bucks now. So yeah, we definitely need that dude to come back. That probably is the bulk of the chunk of change that this deck costs. But yeah, pretty cool deck. I'd have to play with it more to see how it works. I can't play it right now because unfortunately I'm not. There are 20 tickets a piece on Magic Online. I really don't want to invest in Dark Confidence right now if they are going to be reprinted in Modern Masters in a few months here. So I'd love to play this deck on MTGO. Maybe I will show you my Immortal Servitude Modern list that does use Vexing Devils, Goblin Guides, Hellspark Elementals, and Deathrite Shamans. And pretty similar, very similar to this deck, I would say. Anyway, once again, this was submitted by Fleg. I'm going to call you Fleg. That's what we're resulting to. I'm loving these Modern Rogue decks. We've had a lot of submissions for Standard, and I don't know if I made it clear enough. Modern is a format you are allowed to submit a deck in. So this will be my spotlight for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll check out my video for instructions if you want to submit a deck for Rogue Deck of the Month. And maybe I'll even do a spotlight video on your deck tech.